Hello friends, Angelo here. Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about betrayals and how to avoid them. In this video, I'd like to share with you some of the ways that we avoid betrayals inside the Big Gay Family social program, how we avoid disappointments and a lot of the frustrations that you are witnessing right now. And the key aspect about betrayal or betrayals is the psychology of the person that does the betraying, and the psychology of the person that makes the wrong choice to be with the person that betrays. If we could summarize what is a betrayal is an outcome of a psychological overhead based on trauma, based on some hurt, pain that has happened to a person, or a developmental variability where a person's psychological development is not stable enough to maintain order, to maintain consistency and stability. The fastest way to protect yourself from betrayals is to be part of a community inside of which there are facilitators to administer those relationships, and by doing that, introduce agreements like what we have inside Big Gay Family. So members of our program sign agreements with each other. We have a whole bunch of those agreements. One of those agreements is called Rules of Engagement. Another one is called Rules of Sexual Engagement. And I'd like to share with you now another agreement that's called an anti-betrayal agreement that helps gay men become clear, helps us, members of the program, become clear about what constitutes a betrayal. So for example, you interact with somebody and they walk away. They don't tell you why they walk away. They basically vanish after a whole bunch of interactions. That is a betrayal. So inside of this agreement, we specified the conditions of stability, consistency, such that there's clarity for both men about what constitutes a betrayal. Betrayal can be avoided if you study a little bit about psychology, if you pay attention to how somebody shows up, whether they keep their word, whether they are consistent, whether they are living on a platform of stability in their life. If there's a lot of chaos, if the person has difficulty with emotional regulation, then of course, you're going to have betrayals of all kinds. If you're interacting with narcissists, you're going to have betrayals. If you're interacting with sociopaths and psychopaths and sex addicts and people that hang out on Grindr, you're going to have betrayals because those situations and those individuals are not operating on a platform of stability, consistency, and integrity. Ultimately, it is your responsibility to discover what is the psychological requirement for someone to keep his word, for someone not to betray you. And you can tell those signs. Let's say that you met somebody new and you want to meet with them and it's taking forever to meet them, and then they ghost you. And then because they are super good looking, you keep trying because you want the sex. You are aroused and you keep trying, and they are stepping on your boundaries, crossing them, and you're not paying attention. And then say later, let's say that they spend some time with you, you end up falling in love with them, and you end up dating them. And then later, if you get betrayed, you're going to think that it's their fault. But in reality, all along you had red flags. All along you knew that there was something going on, but you were paying attention to his looks, his sex, something that had to do with pleasure or entertainment, or something that validated part of you, but you neglected to pay attention to what I call the red zone, the trauma signs that this person is acting out. I've had lovers in my life and I've been betrayed by them in the past, and the lovers that betrayed me had always signs early on and throughout the relationship of their ability to betray, to lie, to hide, to make things up, to say things behind my back. And if you pay attention to that, if you are aware of the signs that create betrayal later, then you would be able to eliminate those betrayals from happening simply by choosing people that show signs of integrity. How do you find people that show signs of integrity? You find those people in communities. You find them in places that have the infrastructure for consistency, for stability, where you meet educated men that have been around enough to do personal development, to do some spiritual work, emotional work. And now when you interact with them, when there's something wrong, they're not going to betray you. They're going to share with you the early signs of dissatisfaction. The big betrayals happen because the person often does not have the communication skills, does not have the emotional skills to share with you some of the signs of disappointment or dissatisfaction. And as opposed to doing that, they keep internalizing the anger inside them. Eventually it blows up and they betray you. Simply, they don't have the emotional skills, they don't have the communication skills, and now you're going to be just betrayed. They're going to walk away because they don't know of any other way to solve the situation. They don't have conflict resolution skills. They have not had the experiences where someone else taught them for how to interact with other people when the stakes get higher. So how can you avoid betrayals in your life from this day forward? Join our community at the Big Gay Family Social Program. Become part of a community that has principles, that attracts men, in this situation gay men, that are educated, that are empowered with the knowledge to communicate in a decent way, that are not passive aggressive, who are not out of control emotionally. And this is how you reduce and can even eliminate betrayals from your life. I have not been betrayed for a long time now, simply because I don't interact with people that are capable of betrayals. Most of the people that I interact with have been validated not to be narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, sex addicts. These are people that have emotions. They are capable of love and a loving kind of friendship. And this is why I no longer get betrayed. And inside Big Gay Family, we facilitate stability, consistency, and integrity with the use of agreements, with the use of exercises, homeworks, and conversations that specify very clearly what needs to be going on with people so that they develop healthy friendships and relationships. And this is the administrative component of the friendships and relationships that we have inside the Big Gay Family Social Program. So the future for the gay population, for you, if you're meeting people on Grindr, Scruff, Growler, Tinder, all the hookup apps, is that you will confront betrayals right and left because those individuals have too high of a variability of development. They have incompletions on an emotional level, psychological level, on the level of masculinity development, identity, and you're coming across them in the worst kind of places that will never facilitate any clarity about what it means to have a healthy interaction with each other. And so therefore, these betrayals will happen at the least expected moment. And also they will happen on a regular basis just by the virtue of how those places work. So don't waste your time on the hookup apps, on the places that will never bring you closer and closer to other people, because you're going to be confronted with the abuses, the betrayals, and lack of integrity. Join us at the Big Gay Family Social Program, where you meet loving, kind, educated men that will not subject you to the abuse and the betrayals that you are witnessing right now. So visit the website biggayfamily.com and begin your social transformation with us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.